Why do people chasing financial freedom always tend to end up in Asia, Southeast Asia specifically? It comes down to three things: cost, safety, and lifestyle. And I know because I've been here for nearly 20 years here in Asia, living this life. And today I'm going to share some of this stuff with you guys. So as always, I'm going to record the screen and take you guys into this presentation I have for you guys. So let's do that really quick. 3, 2, 1, bam. And this is part of the Freedom Abroad Blueprint program. If you click on the playlist here, you can find it right here, the whole playlist. And it's got all the videos here in order from the first one to the last one that I made. This one will be number 9. So now that you know that, let's get into the presentation. So here we are. This gets this ball rolling. So Southeast Asia beats the West every single time. And as I mentioned in the intro, I've been in Asia for nearly 20 years now, so I can tell you this for a fact. And that's me and Da Nang, by the way. So let's talk about why Asia beats the West. First of all, we have, the Western trap, which is basically burning through money really fast. Like, your rent alone in, a city is going to cost you $1,200 to $2,000 a month, probably minimum for a small place. And, that's probably eating up 50% of people's income, sometimes more. And then on top of that, food. If you want to go out and eat, just one meal for one person, it's going to cost you 15 or 20 bucks for one person. Like, can you even eat at McDonald's anymore for like 10 bucks? I've heard you can't. So it's getting rough in terms of being able to go out and eat something. And then also on top of that, you have some unpredictable and expensive healthcare costs. And I know this for a fact too. My mom actually has skin cancer, and she's retired, but she has full insurance and all this stuff, and it doesn't even cover most of the treatments. Like, she has to go get treatment for cancer, and she's got to like hunt around for somebody who will that the insurance company will accept. And then on top of that, the insurance company say, oh, you can only spend this much money, but the treatment costs this much money. And there's no place that has a treatment for the cost that the insurance will cover. And when you're in retirement or something like that and living off of a fixed amount of money, you can't come up with that money, and you end up having to charge stuff or go in debt or something like that just to cover these healthcare expenses, because it's unpredictable. And then also, lots of stress due to these bills, like I just mentioned, healthcare costs and things like that. If you're still working, then you have stress from working and commuting back and forth to work, dealing with traffic and stupid bosses or some other crap. It's just, it's not worth it, man. And let's get into the housing advantage in Asia. So, luxury apartment is going to cost you $400 to $800 a month, and that's like, it could be in a downtown city center, a beach view. You're talking like just like this picture here. You'll find apartments with swimming pools, 24/7 security, everything. Some of them have movie cinemas, hair salons, restaurants, everything you can imagine, like a small city inside of the apartment complex. And you can get these apartments all over Southeast Asia for $400 to $800 a month. And it's very, very affordable. And like I just mentioned, they usually include the gym, swimming pool, 24/7 security, as well as many, many other things. So also, you're paying that much money for a prime location. Like, you can go to Hua Hin or Pattaya right on the beach for this price, or downtown Bangkok right in the thick of all the action. I mean, you can go, so many countries have these apartments in perfect locations for much cheaper than what you're paying now. And then also in the food, this right here is a meal I actually ate in Da Nang, Vietnam. $10 for this meal. Baby back ribs and fried chicken and banh mi, salads, fruit, the whole nine. Less than $10 for 2 people. Crazy, right? So street food meals cost you $1.50 to $3 anywhere here in Asia. And then a restaurant meal, just like the one I just showed you here for $10, very, very affordable for this kind of meal, American barbecue. Actually, yesterday I went out to eat here in China. I spent $3 on a meal here. So food is very, very, very affordable. Then also, just eating healthy, fresh every day can be very cheap here. Even just going to the supermarket, everything's fresh. They don't have all these chemicals and all this crap in the food. It's very, very healthy. Also, we're going to talk about healthcare and safety. And that's me in Japan I can't remember the name of the place anyway, but I've been there several times. But yeah. Anyway, private healthcare is very affordable and very modern. I go to the doctor here in China every year, full body checkup. They check everything, x-rays and MRIs and they do everything. And it cost me about $100 for a complete full body check and leaving no stone unturned. Very, very affordable. Most cities are safer than anywhere in US and Europe. Any city you go in Asia is very safe. And especially at nighttime, you can feel free to walk around pretty much anywhere, any time of night without having to worry about much. You kind of have peace of mind. I literally see guys here in China go to the ATM after work in the middle of the night, like talking 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, with a big plastic, clear, see-through grocery bag full of money. And they just walk to the ATM with this bag full of money and just deposit it into the ATM. There are guys who collected cash from their businesses at night or something like that. And they just carry the bags of money around. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody thinks about taking it off of them. They just do it all the time. Just go put an ATM. So it's very, very safe here at nighttime. You can go around with having some peace of mind that, nothing bad's going to happen to you. Also, lifestyle and dating is definitely a big thing. That's me again. Where am I at? I can't remember where I was there. Maybe I was in Malaysia. I can't remember. But anyway, lifestyle and dating. You have very affordable gyms, cafes, if you like coffee and stuff like that. And traveling is very, very cheap. I can get on a flight from here to Philippines for $150, or Bangkok for $150, Malaysia, Vietnam, anywhere, Japan. I can go all these places for less than $200. The flights are super cheap to go around and travel these places. Also, in these countries, transportation is very, very convenient. So you don't need to waste money on a car and car insurance and all this other stuff. You can literally just hop on a subway, hop on a bus, hop on a train, and it's very, very, very cheap. Super cheap. I'm talking like $1 per trip. It's like, or sometimes even less, right? It's very, very cheap. So it's much easier to do that and saves you a lot more money instead of having to deal with the expenses of a car and maintenance and all this other stuff. And also dating prospects, there's definitely a lot more. They're more open and more available. Even an old fart like my dad, who's like 75 years old, can come to Asia right now and find him a beautiful woman that's like 40, 50 years old who's been divorced or her husband died or something like that, right? Half his age, and they'll take care of you and treat you really, really well. And you can find this all over Asia. So let's talk about a real cost comparison. Most U.S. city lifestyles are going to cost you, $3,500 to $5,000 per month. And then in Southeast Asia, that exact same lifestyle can cost you, $1,200 to $1,800 a month. Personally, I spend about $1,200 to $1,300 a month, and that's doing whatever I want to do, go where I want to go, and buy what I want to buy. And I still spend, $1,200 a month. It's crazy, right? I spend my entire month for less than what some people will pay on their rent. The quality of life is going to be better in most cases. If not, it'll be the same, but it might be even better. Like if you're spending the same amount of money you spend at home, your life is going to be freaking amazing. But you can have the same life or a better life than you have at home for a fraction of the cost. So let's end this with a quick challenge and a quick wrap up. So I urge you to research one Southeast Asian city or beach destination or mountain town, whatever your thing is, whatever it is you like. Research one of those destinations. and then compare the cost of the rent and food and lifestyle to your hometown, how much you're spending now. Compare those costs. And then, you know, think about how much would it cost you to have total freedom in that place. And this just gives you an entry, an idea of what you need. And then from there, you can start to research other places and stuff later. But this would just spark some curiosity and get you thinking like, wow, I can really live this lifestyle for less than what I'm spending now. Why am I here? You know, like it'll open up those doors for you. So I highly suggest you do that. And lots of free stuff down below. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So, sorry, I'm still under the weather. Any food in any of these countries on the street. Man, a restaurant meal, like I just mentioned, $3. So you can get meals very fucking hell.